Yeah, well, our situation, of course, haven't changed much. Some things have happened good, and some things have happened that took a worse turn for us. We have the situation with the vessel of opportunity. The last 10 days has been real good working with our parish government and put a push on BP, and we've had a lot of boats went to work, but of course BP have cut back and seem to be backing out on the claims process. So of course we know they're turning it over to Mr. Feinberg, but a lot of guys have gotten their checks cut. Some of them didn't receive checks. So, and that was that was horrible, because a lot of these guys just starting to go to work, so they haven't received, they won't be getting a check for at least 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe 4 weeks, because BP is about 30 days behind with the decks. So those that are going to work this week won't see a check for almost 30 days. And then with them cutting the money out now, these guys have little and nothing to live off of for the next 30, 40 days. So, it's that part of it is very horrible. And of course, we've been asking on a report about the disbursement used. We still have not received any type of clarification from BP or the federal government on the carcinogens that may be in that disbursement, the long-term, short-term effects that it could have on our fisheries or in our health in our communities. We have not gotten any answer on any of this. So right now we have formed a coalition with other organizations to press and to solicit federal help to get some of these things done, to push the federal government into releasing this information or getting it big and BP release it.
Hey, Byron? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any stories that you want to tell us? Any stories of any of the people that you work with that just need to be heard?
Yeah, well, the guys they're right down there. I mean, we have like one boat and we're swapping people out, and it's the same thing, no one is telling these communities, what tomorrow, or what we're going to do for you tomorrow. We know BP is saying, well, we're going to make you whole again, but if we look at the track record of BP and the government agencies that we have dealt with since Katrina, well, we can't believe that, because the history teaches us that you're not telling the truth.
Yeah.
And so far, if we look at the behavior of BP, everything is about the perception that BP is okay. They're going to do this and do that, but you're not doing it, So, and every time it's a decision made that would maybe help the fishermen, they go the opposite way, what's best for BP, So we're sitting here, and these fishermen are sitting here and not knowing what tomorrow is going to bring, because this is all they ever known was fishing. They have no other marketable skills, and they don't have any jobs or industry within a reasonable distance for them that they could even say they could go out and pursue.
Byron, tell me about the fisheries. Have you been to them and seen the normal places that you would go fishing? What's it look like there?
I've been out there all day today. I left this morning. I've been all the way out in Barry Bay and out on the water. I did a crew change this morning with one of my vessels that is working on a vessel of opportunity. And I tell you, it's really sad to see, instead of folks fishing and trawling and fishing oysters, we're cleaning up runoff. And it's just not. It's just not a good sight. It's something that we never dreamed of, that we'd be out there cleaning out instead of fishing for oysters and shrimps. So it's our oyster beds are dead on the east bank of the river. They're Flatland Parish in the little community I'm from, Point LaHash, we looking at 3 to 5 years before we could be a productive community again to be fishing oysters, which is our primary source of income, the oyster beds.
What happens in this next 3 to 5 years, if that's the case? How do people hold on? How does that work?
Well, we're going to have some areas that probably can be productive, but that's where we're going to need the state of Louisiana to step up and come up with a comprehensive plan that's going to take care of these communities. We can no longer cater to big industry that does not protect the environment nor the resources and does not protect the consumer. The family fisheries have always been protectors of the resources in our environment because of the way we harvest and fish. We've never tended to overfish our areas. So if we have to put more emphasis on that, and there's going to have to be a very aggressive approach by the state to change the way we do business. After Katrina, we saw a big influx of migrant fishermen while our vessels were damaged and broke. And of course, the world thought that the federal government had sent all this money in Louisiana, which they did, and Louisiana was helping these fishermen get back in the water. They didn't. Most of us are just recovering. I have a boat this week for the first time since Katrina that I had to restore that's going to work. So, and if it can go to work, because I'm going to apply, but that boat was scheduled to go to work around May, the middle of May, and I had to stop when the oil spill started because I had my truck shut down, so I had to reserve every dollar I can to try and sustain myself. So, I mean, that's the situation we're in down there. Now, if the freshwater diversions continue, then we're faced with a lot of 20-foot boats that we can't go on the outside in deep waters and fish with. We're going to have to convert back. A lot of the fishermen are going to have to convert back to 40, 50-foot boats to be able to sustain our community.
Byron, really appreciate you being with us. One last question. How can people here in California support you all?
Well, I can tell you this. You, California, and California has been great to us because of Congresswoman Maxine Waters from California. Had it not been for her, we wouldn't be where we are.
Yeah.
Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee from Houston stepped up to the plate for us big time. So when you ask what you could do, keep pressure on BP and everybody else. Don't let this story die. The Earl may have been capped, but the suffering still goes on. This Earl is out there. You may not see it on top of the water as well. The displacement has got it under the bottom. It's coming in from under the bottom. It's not going away. It's still out there. If we get a good southeast wind or disturbance coming from through the Gulf,